roots of any festival that we celebrate are really important to know so that you know who you're aligning with, what God you're aligning with your celebrations. You want to be celebrating a festival that was rooted in something good, not something wicked and evil. So we're going to discover the roots of Hanukkah by looking at the history of the event that established this festival. So Hanukkah is a celebration that remembers the rededication of the temple in 165 BCE. This rededication followed one of the most incredible and greatest military victories of all time. So here it is in a nutshell. Antiochus had seized and turned the temple into a stronghold for his gods, for Greek gods. And himself. He put up a statue of himself on the altar. He tore down the original wall and built towers. The altar in the holy place was defiled with pagan pig sacrifices, and we know that that is an abomination according to Yehovah. So in fulfillment of the 2300-day prophecy of Daniel 8, and against all odds, with the power of Yehovah, a ragtag group of Israelites defeated seasoned Syrian Greco soldiers who were occupying their land and forcing Jews to assimilate into Greek thought. That's called Hellenization. They wanted everybody in the country to assume Greek thought, Greek traditions, Greek education, and Greek culture. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, I think so. Oh, heavens. But not all Jews surrendered to Hellenization. Well, there was a group of passionate Jewish men, they were actually priests, who fought for religious freedom under a man named Judah Maccabee. And Maccabee actually means hammer. So in Hebrew, the word Maccabee is hammer. They were armed with little more than trumpets and praise, and they freed Jerusalem in exactly 3 years to the day after Antiochus had defiled it. Well, the 10 tribes were already in dispersion. They were already gone. This happened to our brother Judah. And therefore, Judah and Israel, Ephraim, all 12 tribes together are a family. So this happened to family. This is Israel's history. This happened to families. This is our history. So it's really important to understand what this story is all about. So you can go ahead and read that story, study into it. There's so much more there. I mean, things like something that I find really interesting is Antiochus had 32 elephants in his army, and each one of those elephants could hold 32 soldiers each. And here, like 80,000 footmen, and just all this huge, vast army coming up against this small army over here led by Judah Maccabee. And it is so clear and so obvious that Yehovah gave the victory to Judah and made the enemies reroute. So as we discover the story of Hanukkah, we can see that the roots of it are good. All of Israel that was there at the time established this festival. They asked for everyone to keep the days of dedication so that we would remember what Yehovah had done on their behalf back then. I don't think Judah understood or knew the prophetic depth and the implications of the festival that he was establishing, but I have no doubt in my mind that Yehovah, who was with him while he was defeating all these pagan armies, I have no doubt in my mind that Yehovah's Ruach HaKodesh wasn't there with Judah and Israel at the time when they established this Feast of Hanukkah, this Feast of Dedication. So we can see that the roots of Hanukkah are good. They are true. They are something that as Melchizedek priests, we can restore. So just like Judah cleansed the temple, scrubbed it down, and then rededicated it to Yehovah. In fact, Judah chose men who were zealous for Yehovah's law to go in and cleanse the temple and get it ready for dedication again. So as Melchizedek priests, we too can restore. We can look at the roots of Hanukkah and we can say, wow, what an incredible festival. Festival that means something for us today, which we're going to talk about in a second, and we can restore it. We can get rid of all the things that are not true about how it's being celebrated now, and we can restore the true Hanukkah. You can't do this with the other winter feast that's out there called Christmas. It's the roots roots of that festival are pagan to the core. And the further you go back, the more you know where those roots are, and you know that it is pagan, and you know that it is wicked, and it's straight from the pit of hell. You can't restore that. You can't, there's nothing you can do to wash that clean, because it never came from somewhere clean. But Hanukkah did. And Hanukkah has great implications for us today. So let's go on and continue our journey into learning what Hanukkah is about.